Hey guys, it's Kevin again. This is commentary for The Fosters, Season 2, Episode 9, I believe. Yeah, Episode 9, Leaky Faucets. And this episode was really good. By far the best episode of the season. I actually thought it was better than Swish at Birth this week. By the way, guys, I'm filming my video in my computer room because that's where I have to upload my videos because my laptop ended up getting destroyed, in case you guys don't know that. So that's why I'm in my computer room. It got destroyed a while ago, but you know what, guys? It takes such a long time to upload my videos because my computer's so slow. So yeah, but that's if you guys are wondering why I'm in the computer room, that is why. But this episode, in my opinion, was absolutely amazing. I love this episode. Thought there were so many great things about this episode. This episode was just really great. Especially, you know, there are some really funny. The subplot was really funny in this episode. I really loved everything about this episode. So many great plots in this episode. And this has more building up to the finale than Swish at Birth did, in my opinion. So let's just get to the main plot. Basically, the main plot, of course, had to do with Callie. Callie is, you remember how Callie and Wyatt almost had sex, but Callie had a panic attack in the middle? Well, ever since then, she's been seeing a therapist to help her deal with that. So she explains the first one happened when she tried to have sex with Wyatt, so she connected to the rape. However, we find out there has been more things that have happened besides that, you know. Callie's therapist thinks it's more complicated than that. Since Callie was wrong about being able to trust Liam, she's doubting her own judgment. Especially when it comes to letting her be vulnerable with someone else. So Callie's therapist tells her to trust her instincts when it comes to Wyatt and not doubt him unless he gives her a reason to. So she kind of tries to take this advice. Now, Callie, meanwhile, everyone is going to this Mexican festival that's in town, you know, just to have some fun. A bunch of other people went. You know, a bunch of other people went as well. So basically, Callie goes with to this street festival with Wyatt, and she tags along with Brandon and Lou, which we'll get to Brandon and Lou in a second. But she goes in an attempt to get over her panic attack. She does not want to be around the crowds, but she does invite Wyatt to come with her because she trusts him to keep her safe. And that plan seems to be going well for a while, but then Wyatt spots Liam at the festival. Which obviously is a big thing. Now, meanwhile, Brandon and Lou are really they're having a hard time, definitely. Brandon, you know, he really does like Lou. Lou has taken Brandon to the festival as a way to spend more time with him. They bond over some more music, but when Lou, shows him, you know, tries to get him to get a tattoo, basically, and, you know, Lou says, I have a tattoo here. She says, there's another one I can't show you. She basically offers to have sex with him. And Brandon doesn't even respond to that. You know, she doesn't know why he's not responding. She thinks that he's not into her. But he explains that he does like Lou, but he's going through something, and Lou seems to understand. And unfortunately, because of this, he doesn't get to talk to her again, because from here, Wyatt tells Brandon that Liam is here, and Brandon just suggests to get Callie out of there. That's what they want to do. Now, Wyatt decides to go after Liam. Now, of course, Callie is now let's think about this, Wyatt. Callie is having these panic attacks. She's having very violent, you know, she's having these panic attacks. You know, she's had very violent things happen with Liam. It's probably best to do what Brandon said, to just get her out of there. But Wyatt ends up in a fight with Liam, and then, you know, Liam ends up punching Brandon, so Brandon hits her, and they end up having to get the security guards to stop the fight. Callie witnesses the whole fight, and Wyatt's trying to explain that he was only trying to protect Callie, but she tells him that she needed him to be with her that day, and Callie knows Wyatt was only trying to look after her, but she's not sure she can trust him ever again, really. She's really not sure about that, so I understand why Callie did that, definitely. I completely understand that, because, you know, I understand that Callie doesn't trust him. Now, I understand that Wyatt only wanted to help Callie. He went about really all wrong, because Callie does not need anyone to help her. She's completely, again, Callie's against violence. She needs someone to support her, not leave her alone while he heads off to, you know, hurt a guy. You know, he should have just done what Brandon said to do, which is just get Callie out of there. So, honestly, Wyatt, I don't think we're going to see Wyatt as much anymore, because Wyatt, you know, Max Sakin is on another show called Finding Carter, where he plays Max, who, in my opinion, is a better character than Wyatt, but I definitely thought that was an interesting plot. Felt bad for Callie there. I did. I felt bad for Callie in that next scene. I felt bad for her. Really, I did. Now, Steph, in the meantime, let's get to Steph. Steph's plot was really funny in this episode. I thought her plot was definitely really funny, but then it turned out to be actually really emotional. Basically, she has the day off and does not know what to do with herself. Lena and Jude are still on that camping trip, so she video chats with Lena, and Lena suggests she try meditation. And Steph laughs at her because anyone who has just spent a moment in Steph's company knows that she is not the meditating type. Instead of relaxing, enjoying her time alone, she decides to fix the leaky faucet. Because, you know, the sink, that's why the episode was called Leaky Faucets. But the only problem is that Steph has no idea how to do this. And Terry Polo in this scene, absolutely hilarious. I thought she did a great job in this episode. Probably one of her best performances. Her face is very, very funny. She fails to fix the sink. I mean, just really, really funny stuff here. I thought this was definitely, probably one of the funniest things the Fosters have done. You know, it's very funny, but they lead to something much deeper, because while she's trying to clean up the mess she has made, she finds something they brought for the baby. And Steph breaks down, finally letting herself grieve for her daughter. And Lena, Lena, like the angel she is, calls that exact moment, and Steph tells her that she misses the baby. And Lena knows exactly how Steph feels, and she stays on the phone with Steph while she cries. And I thought that was just a really, really good scene. So later that night, Steph comforts Callie, and Steph tells her that they are a lot alike. You know, that Steph understands where Callie's coming from. Steph knows that Callie thinks she has to be strong and just move past her pain, but Steph has learned firsthand that sometimes you have to let yourself fall apart, and there's no shame in that. And I love when the show, shows the similarities between Steph and Callie. They are very much alike, Steph and Callie both, they really have, they're more emotional. Lena is emotional, yes, but Steph is definitely more emotional than Lena about these things. And I love it when they're comparing the two of them. I thought that was just such a well-done scene. And overall, I really, really enjoyed that. I thought that was definitely really, really good. So yeah, that was basically the main plot, was Steph and Callie. Let's get to the subplot, which had to do with Mariana. First of all, Mariana, the first thing to talk about Mariana is that Brandon actually had to take something over to Mike, who he takes something over to Mike, and he almost sees, and he thinks he sees Anna there. So, Anna, of course, there's stuff going on with Anna and Mike. Basically, Anna has gone the amends part of their program. They both have very long lists of people to make amends to. And, yes, they have a long list of people to make amends to. And Matt and Mariana are attending the festival. Mariana's not really happy about it, because the festival is a Mexican festival. And Mariana thinks this is kind of racist. So, she thinks Matt only brought her here because she's, she's Mexican. And Mariana spends the rest of the day being horrible to him, and Matt has no idea why. He doesn't really know why. But here's the thing, Mariana. Weren't you just as racist when you said that one girl is on the dance team because she's black? I mean, that was just as racist what she said. So, honestly, that's being just as racist as you were to Matt, really. As Matt was to you, you were just as racist to, that girl. I don't remember what her name was, but you were just as racist to her, definitely. So, you can't say that, Matt was more racist, because you were just as racist, Mariana. You really were. Her day eventually does get worse, though, because she runs into Mike and Anna in the festival, and Anna tries to talk to Mariana, but she has no interest in hearing more of Anna's lies. And she sees her biological mother, and Matt asks Mariana what's going on. She lays into him. Matt then asks the woman, was she, who was she? They get into an argument, and Mariana tells him about Anna and so much more. And she does end up having a really nice conversation with Matt. They do end up making amends. We finally start to understand why Mariana is trying to distance herself from her Latin heritage. And she says that her only connection to that part of herself is Anna, and she hates Anna. And seeing anything representative of her culture reminds her of the woman who hurt her family so badly. So Matt decides to open up to Mariana about his own family, and they end their day on a good note. And Mariana comes home that night, and she asks Steph about the letter that Anna sent. And Steph admits that she received Anna's letter, and Mariana actually says she wants to see Anna again. Which is very surprising. I didn't expect that to happen at all, but that was definitely very surprising, and I didn't expect that, definitely. I thought that was a good twist. I didn't expect that at all. So, yeah, I thought that was definitely a good plot. I enjoyed Mariana's plot. I thought that was definitely good. And, definitely that was interesting. Now, Mike, in the meantime, by the way, he has no business in getting involved with this, really, with Mariana. Focus on your own life and leave Stephanina to parent their kids. Focus on your own life, you know. He's realizing now having Danny was a terrible idea, you know. Having Danny in his home was a terrible idea, you know, things like that. Like, Mike really needs to get himself together. If he wants to get, you know, on together, he needs to get himself together as well. And the last thing to talk about is Jesus. Jesus was taking Haley, you know, to the place where they first had sex, you know, the place where they first got together. And Haley doesn't want to think of herself as just some girl that he has sex with and gets naked in front of. So, you know, she really wants him to prove himself to her that he deserves her. So he takes her to the festival, but Haley gets upset when she realizes Jesus got the idea from Brandon. So Jesus decides, she realizes Jesus got the idea from Brandon to do this. So he decides to get a tattoo of Haley's name in order to prove that he really cares about her. And I thought that was definitely very interesting that he got a tattoo. Maybe not the best thing to do, but, you know, whatever you want to do, you gotta do. That's it for my review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys saw this episode. Now, let's talk about the finale. The finale is next week, the mid-season finale, that is. And I'm really looking forward to it. I think the finale looks awesome, honestly, next week. The big question, of course, is Callie's biological family. We're gonna have to see that in the next episode. As you remember, Sophia said that she wants to adopt, that they want to, you know, take custody of Callie. What's gonna happen there? We'll have to see, definitely, if Robert Quinn is going to get full custody of Callie. Also, are we going to see Wyatt again? I don't think we will. I really don't think we're going to see Wyatt again. I don't know. We're going to have to see what happens there. Is Mariana going to meet up with Anna? I mean, definitely she's going to have to. She's going to have to tell Jesus about it as well. Jesus probably in the meantime has other problems going on. But, you know, I like seeing that Haley actually isn't using Jesus. She actually does care and wants to be, you know, wants him to be a good boyfriend. I do like seeing that, definitely. I like seeing that, definitely. Stephanina, I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, as far as Stephanina goes, I'm thinking Lena and Jude will be back from the camping trip at the end of the episode. There's really not much to say there. And as far as Brandon and Lou go, I like them together, but honestly, this is all, let's be honest, this is all building up to the return of Brandon and Callie. That's really what this is all building towards, really. Let's be honest there. That's what this is building towards. But that's basically it for this review. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys saw this episode, and I'll see you guys in my next video, which will be my review for Teen Wolf, so see you guys for that. Okay, bye.